In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is our divine reminder and warner that's in our midst. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man, a podcast of brothers that desires nothing more than to show you a positive image as to what a striving man of God should be. For we all are family men who love our children. We all are businessmen. We all are youth mentors, and we all work hard in our communities to make it a decent and safe place to live. When putting this podcast together, we decided to govern our actions by 3 rules. 1 was to put God first in all that he do. 2, to show content on podcasts that can make you a better you. And 3, to show brotherhood and unity amongst men that you can be proud of. My name is Brother Kawi Muhammad. I'll be your host and moderator for the night. I'm a brother that's very interested in the beginning of things. Motivations and inspirations. I hope you enjoy those lines of questions. Our brother Jack and Muhammad will not be with us tonight. Have a family emergency. Please put him in your prayers, him and his family. Our brother Ahmed will be joining us very shortly. But I do want to introduce you to a guest host that we have tonight. Our brother is a product of the prison ministry. Strong brother. If you talk to this brother, if you dead when you talk to this brother, you're going to be alive when you finish that conversation. I'm talking about my brother, Shakur Muhammad.
All praise due to Allah. Thank you, dear brother. On behalf of the Jock Brothers, I'm delighted and honored to help and assist our brother Kwawi. On behalf of the other members of Jock Brothers in this endeavor, we want to pray and we thank and pray and ask Allah to protect our brother Jack and his family. We're delighted.
Praise be to Allah. Once again, I would like to thank the viewing audience for tuning in to our show, the Jock Brothers Live, Let Us Make Man. And for those that's been with us from the very beginning, man, I salute you. I thank you for all that you do in supporting this podcast. Please share this show. If you're on Facebook, share it on your Facebook platform. If you're on YouTube, please go to Jock Brothers on YouTube and subscribe and hit the bell for our upcoming shows. We're doing all that we can to put the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan out to our brothers and sisters around. Now, for those that has donated to the Jock Brothers platform at any point, we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. I don't know if you have been around from the very beginning, but if you have been around from the beginning and you seeing us now, you can see that your hard-earned dollars is doing us a lot of justice. So I thank you. And if you want to continue to donate to our platform, you see the information at the bottom of the screen. It's our Cash App, $ Jock Bros, $ JAKQBROS. Please continue to donate to this platform. Also, we have a prison initiative. We are desperately attempting to get the Final Call newspaper behind bars to our brothers and sisters that's incarcerated. To get it to them for 3 months, it's an $18 donation. For 6 months, it's a $30 donation. And for 1 year, it's a $60 donation. You can send your contributions to that same Cash App that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. We just ask you to put in the memo section, prison reform or FCN for our brothers and sisters that's behind bars. Nothing like getting the Final Call newspaper behind bars for those that has been behind bars and received that paper. All right. I'm trying to say, if we don't, we're trying to get it to 1,000 individuals, but I don't know 1,000. I don't think any one of us on this program know 1,000. So if you can get that information, a family member or friend that's locked up, if you can get that information to us to jockbrothersviewers@gmail.com, that'll be much appreciated. Again, we need their name, the inmate number, address to the facility where they at. And if you have their chaplain's information, that'll be very helpful to us. Again, you can get that information to us at jockbrothersviewers@gmail.com. That's all I have on that. I'm going to leave the information up for a moment, just in case you need to write it down. Let's get to the show. Now, back by popular demand, and that includes you, Brother Kenneth. Back by popular demand, we got our brother here that came on the show last time and just absolutely blew it up. This brother got the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad behind bars. He told you what he was before he went to jail, and he told you what he has become since he got the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as demonstrated by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm talking about this brother right here, my brother, Kenneth Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother. How you doing today, Brother Kwawi?
I'm fine by Allah's grace. A lot of work, brother. I'm solo on this thing. I'm working it though, brother.
Yeah, you're not solo. You got Brother Shakur, and you got all the brothers that's watching this show behind you, brother. So you just sit at home. We gonna have us a nice fireside chat because we see who's sitting there waiting to come on, and everybody's excited. We have the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's Student National Prison Reform Minister here tonight with us, Brother Abdullah Muhammad. So we ready to rock and roll, brother.
Praise be to Allah. Well, with that being said, brother, with no further ado, a brother that was handpicked himself by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to be the National Director of the Prison Reform Ministry. Brother that did a couple of years in jail himself, but came out this type of man under the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. A brother that has mentored many brothers, not just that's been incarcerated, but brothers that's been free. A brother that everybody holds in high esteem. A brother that carries himself like the God that he is. With a round of applause, with a Jock Brother round of applause, please welcome Minister Abdul Muhammad to our show.
Praise be to Allah. Oh, I'm supposed to speak.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for inviting me on to the Jock Brothers show. And I'm just looking forward to whatever it is that you would like to ask me. I don't have a prepared speech.
Oh, yes, sir. Not a problem, sir. Well, we actually, we want to do two things on this show. We want to recap the banquet that Brother Kenneth and his wife put on for you, that Brother Shakur was a part of. I heard it was a joyous affair. I heard it was can't miss, and I happen to miss it. But I get a chance. Yeah, I see. But I get a chance through the eyes of Brother Kenneth, his experience, and Brother Shakur to be caught up to speed about the gala. If y'all want to take off from there, Brother Kenneth, since you was the host of the gala, tell us about it, brother. Tell us, how that day started. Give us some behind the scene nuggets, whatever you want to give us, brother, about that day.
Yes, sir, brother. The last time we was here and we was talking about the origin of that prison reform gala that happened a couple weeks ago, and the Quran speaks about the overwhelming event, and that's what it was. It started with an idea because we had been in pause due to the pandemic, and Muhammad's Mosque number 60, where the genesis of the prison reform gala began, we wanted to pick it back up because the prison reform ministry and that particular mosque is preeminent. But I had the idea to do something different. One, to show my gratitude and appreciation for all of those years, decades that they came into the facility and nurtured us and groomed us. And sometimes when you invest in that kind of work, you don't really readily see a return on your investment.
Okay,
and so we wanted to host it in the city that I'm working out of, in Holly Springs, Mississippi, a little small study group, but mighty believers. The teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And I discussed it with my wife, and I said, I want to do it in Holly Springs. I said, but I want it to be different. I want us to continue to grow with it. And she said, well, you always talking about Brother Abdullah. You're always on the phone with him. Why not bring Brother Abdullah in and honor him? And I said, you know what? I said, that's a big idea. I said, but now since we said it, let's go after it. And we began to just start working. And we just stayed prayerful and we stayed dutiful in the work. We had, I don't even want to call it a setback. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we had originally set the date for November the 5th. But all the brothers know we were called to Chicago to meet with God's man that day. And many people say, hey, brother, that's your day. I said, no, the minister called us in. I said, but we're going to reschedule. And the funny thing is, me and Brother Abdullah, we were on the phone. And then I had just hung up with him, and I got the email, and then my shoulders went down. Then I said, oh, that day must be blessed because that's the day the minister chose. So we said, hey, we're going to change the day, reschedule it. And we just kept working. And there was apprehension. I can admit it now, even though I was putting on a good face, Brother Kwawi, there was apprehension. But as the word began to spread and the tickets began to start being jumped off, people calling from the East Coast, the West Coast, the Central region, Southern region. Next thing you know, the event is sold out. And then when the Friday came, we're sitting there waiting on that plane to drop down, and we had a surprise up our sleeve. We wasn't outside, Brother Kwawi. We had maneuvered and was right there when our brother walked off and saw his beautiful smiling face. His lovely wife was with him. And from that point, it's like Allah just descended on the city. And everything that was happening, Brother Abdullah kept saying this. He said, this is bigger than me. I said, oh, brother, you a big man. It's big enough. He said, no, brother. And as the people who are participating, who were in our group, they began to express things. And I would just start taking it in. And I want to say this, and I'll let Brother Shakir drop in, and Brother Abdullah, he can add. It was a very deep spiritual event. And everywhere we went, the spirit of Allah, God, Master Fard Muhammad, and his Christ and messenger, Messiah was with us. And I'm still soaking it in, brother. You know, it's a lot to it. It was a lot to it, but we were blessed. The minister, he seemed as though he was enjoying himself, and it did my heart. I know Brother Shakir, he said some very, very touching words on his way out the door, you know, and it was emotional. I'll let him say what he said, but we felt that what we were blessed to accomplish, and even more so, who we accomplished it in the name of Brother Abdullah Muhammad.
That's right. That's right.
It was a powerful event. It was like that old song I was telling you about, Kwawi, A Night to Remember.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's the title of the show, by the way. You see it, right?
Oh, okay, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise to Allah.
Go ahead, there, Brother Shakur. Let me get your accounts.
I won't say anything long because I'm eager to hear student minister Abdullah Muhammad, student prison reform minister. But I suffice to say, to me, it was like a pilgrimage. And the reason I say it was what I heard Minister Farrakhan say, what Holly Springs in that area meant to him. So many had to sacrifice. There was a lot of sacrifice to put it on, plus the rescheduling. So to me, it was like a pilgrimage that we had to embark upon to get a new direction or a spiritual direction in this particular work, which is the prison reform ministry. So with that, I'll give my way to student minister Abdullah Muhammad for whatever he would like to say. But it was a wonderful, touching, and powerful event. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Brother Kawi, I didn't prepare anything to say. I thought you were going to question me or ask me questions.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question, brother. When you got out that plane and you saw all them people out there to honor you, what was on your mind? You know, had that ever happened to you before, brother?
Well, not make their way all the way up into the airport. That was new, you know. So Allah had to be with us because normally you can't come into the airport to receive somebody, but in this case it happened, and it was just beautiful. And not only that, when I returned to the airport, I didn't have to go through no changes.
Okay.
Straight through.
Praise be to Allah.
The FOI had it locked down. Whatever they did,
that's right.
They treated me like I was Minister Farrakhan.
Praise be to Allah.
I do represent.
That's right. You was on his behalf.
That's right.
You know, I talked to you before, Minister Abdullah, and you know, you were very humble in this, that you know, you felt you didn't deserve all this attention like this. You always say, I'm just a regular person. What? I mean, we over here looking at you like, man, this is Minister Abdullah. You know what I'm saying? You report directly to the minister. My question to you: why would you feel that? First of all, and now that you had this banquet, now where are you at now in terms of, I guess your status or standings in the nation?
Wait a minute, you gotta trim some of that off and ask me a direct question.
Your humility. You really didn't believe that you deserved all of this. What is that?
Well, you know, that's the way I personally feel. And I think that everybody is critical of themselves, hard on themselves. But you have to, regardless of whether you feel like you're worthy of it or not, it's two wills. Allah's active will and Allah's permissive will. And if he brought this about, then I got to praise him and not let nothing go to my head. I got to say all praise is due to Allah, because I know I didn't have nothing to do with this. You heard Brother Kenneth say the idea, his desire to want to do something to energize the area where he's at, caused his wife to recommend to honor me. I had nothing to do with this. And then as a result of honoring me, all of the brothers that were involved in prison ministry, then they were acknowledged for the work that they've been putting in.
Right.
So I knew it was bigger than me, especially when the Messiah popped up on the screen.
Mm.
I knew I was right then. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So.
But okay, yes, sir.
No, go ahead.
I had a question for Brother Kenneth.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, there, brother.
Brother, oh, go ahead. You were saying something, Brother Shakur? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so okay. You say you had a question for Brother Kenneth, then I'll segue after you.
Okay, yeah. So Brother Kenneth, you had a who's who in attendance at this event. Yes, Student Minister Ishmael. You had our regional minister. You had brothers from all over the country. You want to talk about how you were able to put that type of guest list together?
Brother, I'm going to be honest. I had no idea who was coming. Once the idea started, this was back in July, we were at the national training, and my wife was assisting and helping put that on with the Assistant Supreme Captain and his wife, Brother Abdul Aziz Muhammad. And she mentioned that we was going to do the prison reform gala and be honoring Brother Minister Abdullah Muhammad. And the Grand Master and his wife say, count us in. So that was it. We mentioned it. We was talking, and we ran into Student Minister Ishmael. And he said, I'll come down. He said, but I don't want to speak. I just want to be a guest. And with Minister Ishmael, when we changed the dates, we didn't reconnect with him anymore. So we didn't know what his plans was to the last minute. But the regional ministers and whatnot, when the word got out on the wife that we was honoring Brother Minister Abdullah, everyone, it was a resounding count me in. I'm going to be there, because they wanted to come. Many would say, hey, we should have been done something like this. So I wasn't calling people, trying to get them to purchase tickets. I really wasn't. You know, they were calling and they were saying, hey, we're going to be there. Where can we get the tickets? And then when we were here the last time, the show had, on your program, the event had sold out. But you never know if everyone's actually going to show. You never know, you know. But when the doors open, and when we walked in, I walked in with Brother Minister Abdullah and his wife, and I hadn't seen the decor or anything, and I just said, Allahu Akbar.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Brother Shakur. Shakir,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Student Minister Abdullah.
Yes, sir.
You've been doing this work for over 32 years. And there are brothers who have been incarcerated for that time or lesser. What is the fire that continues to fuel you to continue to press on and want to keep this work going? What fire fuels your desire, sir?
Well, in the words of Minister Farrakhan, when he put me on this post, he introduced me to Mr. Spencer Leak Sr., who was the director over the Cook County Jail here in Chicago, and he's also owner of funeral homes. And he was the director, and I was standing on post outside the director's door. And the door opened up, and it was he's student minister Abdul Sharif now. But at that time, I think he was either the Supreme Captain or was there to become the Supreme Captain. He opened the door and said, Minister Farrakhan would like to see you. So I walked in the office, and I was looking in the director's face and looking at Minister Farrakhan's back. And it was an empty chair left next to Minister Farrakhan. And he patted the seat for me to sit down. And before my behind touched the seat, he said, "This will be the man that'll be in charge of the Nation of Islam's prison reform ministry, because he loves his people and won't turn back on them. So what motivates me is my love for all of y'all."
So he didn't ask you, did you want the post? He just said, this is your post.
He told me 10 years ago, 10 years before that he wanted me to work in prison reform ministry. But that day I had no idea. Number one, I had no idea that I was going to be at the county jail with him. I used to sell fruit bags for $1 on the corner. And I finished working and went to get my fruit. And I live about 5 blocks from the National House. So I make it a practice to always go back and check on the house on the way home. So when I went by, all of the brothers was getting ready to go. And I said, "Where y'all going?" They say, "The minister's speaking at the county jail." And I said, "Man, tell the Supreme Captain, don't leave me, man." So when I got back, they were gone. And so I went on to the jail anyway, and I got there in enough time to get across the street as the entourage was going into the jail, and I just happened to be put on post outside the director's door. So nothing on that day was known to me. It happened.
Right. Wow. Well, Brother Kenneth.
Me too.
Yes.
At what point during this event that you know it was going to be like, the day of the event? You tickets sold, nobody showed up. At what point did you realize, man, this is about to be real big? This is about to be real big. At what point?
That's Friday morning. My spirit through the whole thing was, I always remembered something from the time I was in prison. Brother Captain Andre Muhammad, the captain of Muhammad's Mosque 60, he would always reassure me and say that Master Fard Muhammad, he's in there with you, brother. He said, you ask him for what you want, and he's duty bound to grant it to his followers. So from the very beginning, I asked Master Fard Muhammad to bless us, to allow us to keep our focus straight and our motives pure. And whatever his will would be, so let it be done. But when I got there, as far as knowing what it was going to be, we were taking a little tour. It's called the Southern Heritage Tour. You're touring some of the historical landmarks in Memphis. And I had never been on it, but I'm watching Minister Abdullah, and he has a certain demeanor and look. And he got off, and we were talking about some events that had happened, and they were talking about a particular brother by the name of, I want to say, Robert Church. He's very prominent, and of course, you know how the enemy does any one of our people. who loves our people, and he has to pay for that with his life. Then Brother Abdullah, he said, anytime I hear about the martyrs, I feel that. So I leaned back and I watched them. And then I watched as we were moving and the individuals. Now on the tour, we have one of the daughters of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We have the Supreme Captain and his wife, a few brothers and sisters from Chicago and different places, Memphis included. And they began to express very deep spiritual insights of what they felt was going on. And I knew, I said, the God is with us.
Okay, yes, sir. Wow.
And that was the minister's daughter's sister, Colliday.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I got a question.
I'm gonna say it again because you look like you got distracted. The Minister Farrakhan's daughter's sister, Colliday.
No.
That's
What
right.
it is? No, I heard that. I heard that. Yes, sir. I'm getting messages from all over the place. So right now, we are currently being viewed by some brothers that's incarcerated right now. So I don't know what jail they're watching you from, brother minister, but they're watching you right now, and they got questions for you, brother Shakir. You have those questions?
I do.
Yes, sir. Ron.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'll start with this last one first because it's kind of intertwined with it. But as you know, the opioid epidemic is running rampant throughout the penal systems in America as well as society. And the question was asked by a brother. He asked this question: how do we deal with our brothers who are incarcerated on drugs? How do you deal with those brothers inside who are on drugs?
Well,
And trying to get them to the teaching.
And trying to get them what?
To the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. How do you deal with them in that type of mindset of being a drug addict, and trying to get them to change their lives?
Well, see, I'm a no excuse man. And the duty of the messenger is only to deliver the message. I used to shoot drugs. I used to drink syrup. I used to smoke reefer. And I had a heroin habit that caused me to bleed from my rectum because I determined, now listen to what I'm saying, I determined that I didn't want to be a heroin addict no more. And I kicked cold turkey, but I didn't know that you had to drink water, stay hydrated. And as a result of not knowing that with all of them chemicals and I'm kicking cold turkey, my bowels was like cement. And I had to go have an operation to be able to have waste elimination. So what I'm saying is stop rejecting the message and quit like you know you can. The message is all you need to accept it and practice it and learn about your God and his messengers and start becoming a reflection of your God attribute by attribute as you practice until you become a perfect reflection of your God. So just quit once you see what's right.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next question, if you got. How many you have?
I have 3.
Yes, sir.
The next question: why is the Nation of Islam Tourism Reform Ministry sowing.
I didn't hear the last
You
part.
broke up. You broke up. Say it again, Brother Shakir.
Yes, sir. Why is Nation of Islam's prison reform ministry so important?
It's important because Allah revealed through his prophets, beginning with maybe Abram or Abraham, he put him in a deep sleep. And he mentioned the word horror to describe the sleep that he put Abraham in. And 5,000 years ago, before we got here, he showed Abraham what our condition would be through the slavery that we would have to fulfill according to the scripture. But as we went through the darkness, meaning absent of the knowledge of self and God and our language, just totally destroyed, the Quran says that he would send us knowledge from time to time. So down the time in the future where we will fulfill that prophecy, we would also see that we were so destroyed that the conspiracy of the enemy to bring drugs and guns and stuff into our community would call for a prophet or greater than a prophet, like unto Isaiah, whose heart is to bring out the captives, bring the prisoner out of the prison, and those that sit in darkness out of the prison houses. So we have point number 5 on our back page asking for all of the incarcerated in the North as well as the South. And therefore, you are innocent. You've been framed. You've been held in poverty and want. And then you've been tempted by the beast to try to acquire all of the material and wealth that they show you on TV, that the rappers glorify, and you don't know that you are being lured into their grasp as a result of their conspiracy. And the scriptures say they don't even have it in their mind to restore you. It says none says to restore. They don't even think about it. That's why you got to fight the vote when you get out. And they have dumb sayings like, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Well, hell, you told me I had 10 years or 30 years or 60 years, but you didn't tell me if I was blessed to get out, now I can't live in the public housing with my wife and family because I'm a felon. You didn't tell me about all of these collateral consequences. These are some evil, wicked, heartless people from a bottomless pit. Bottomless means that they so wicked, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Come on.
Go ahead.
So now we got Isaiah, the fulfiller of Isaiah, in Minister Farrakhan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Come on, teach.
And I forgot what you asked me.
Go ahead, Minister.
Come on with it. Don't worry. Just keep going.
Hey,
Because
hey,
the reason I want to keep going because there's some brothers who are listening to you and watching you now who may not see you, physically. You understand what I'm saying? They have this type of contact with you. So whatever Allah put on your heart, drop it, soldier.
The question's coming in, brother.
Well, what just came across my mind while Brother Shakur was talking, all the brothers on the inside, your assignment is to work to get me to visit your prison, the prison where you at.
Yes, sir.
Go to work and bring in the Messiah's chosen head of the Nation of Islam's prison reform ministry at this period in time. I'm ready to serve you in person where you'll see me in the flesh.
Yes, sir.
And I want to see you. And Minister Farrakhan loves you.
That's right.
That's why he commissioned me.
That's right.
You was on his mind when he first woke up himself. Matter of fact, Parchman Penitentiary was the first prison he went to after he stood up. And he came to FOI class and he told us to pray for him because he getting ready to go down into the mouth of the lion, in the belly of the beast. And I was sitting all the way in the back. When I heard him say, pray for him, I said, pray for you? Because to me, he always been the messenger of Allah in my time. And I said, well, wait a minute, pray for you? If I got to pray for you, that must mean I'm supposed to be there. So I up and went with him and I escorted him in the Parchman. And that's where I had a spiritual experience where I looked to my right because a guard, it seemed like he was trying to make a brother come in and disrupt the meeting. And the brother was disagreeing with him. So I was watching them, and then I looked back at Minister Farrakhan to my left, and it was a great cloud around him, like a mist. And the outside of the cloud had like dull yellow gold lining it. And the voice came up out of the experience into my mind and said, this is Elijah Muhammad. So I knew before I came back home to Chicago that Minister Louis Farrakhan is the fulfillment of the Jesus of the last day that we in.
That's right.
I knew it was him because Allah gave me spiritual experiences and confirmed. And years later, I said, this voice didn't say this is Elijah Muhammad's representative. The voice in my mind said, this is Elijah Muhammad. And it took me some years to realize that's what had occurred. So I am committing my whole life. I'm giving up every damn thing to be with Minister Farrakhan when he returned. And he told me when he returned, he killing every one of his enemies. And he already told me, if I were to have to go to war, I wouldn't mind you being at my side. So I'm working on purifying myself because you don't want no sins or nothing that you done committed to come up in your mind when you're on the front lines and cause you to turn coward and turn back. So I pledge my allegiance to Minister Louis Farrakhan and all y'all on the inside of the prison. I hadn't even read the whole message to the black man, and I stood on what I read in that book and what I believe. So I didn't accept Elijah Muhammad's personality. I didn't know Minister Farrakhan. I accepted the words and message to the black man as my foundation. And I came home not asking what can y'all do for me? I came home and asked the question, what y'all need me to do?
Go ahead.
And Allah blessed me to be chosen by Mother Khadijah to work in her personal house while her husband was on the road teaching to deliver the rest of our people and raise them from the dead. I was never asked, who did you kill? How many did you kill? I wasn't even given an application. She just chose me based on how I organized the shipping of the mail. And I came out of prison into the minister's personal house as a volunteer, and eventually became the National Prison Reform Minister of the Nation of Islam, Student Prison Reform Minister of the Nation of Islam. So y'all brothers go to work to bring me in.
Allahu Akbar.
That's why brothers like you get honored right there. You got so many comments, brother. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
I wish you could read them, man. They loving you right now, Student Minister Abdullah.
Allahu Akbar.
You got Niami Muhammad, Mark Ware, Any Wright, Jamila. I mean, you got so many, Broderick Muhammad. Wow, I can't pronounce some of these brothers' names, man, but they all saying teach. Go ahead, brother. They just, you got a lot of respect, soldier. You got a lot of respect.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you.
Do you have any more questions, brother?
Go ahead, I'll come back.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Let me get back to let's get back to the banquet just a little bit, because we got a ton of questions for you. Outside of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I know that's the highlight. That's the highlight of him speaking at the banquet. That's the highlight. Outside of that, is there anything memorable that you want to talk about, Student Minister Abdullah, or something that you remember most about that banquet?
Well, Sister Colliday just came up in my mind while you were asking the question. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's daughter. I have noticed that Colliday has been present at very important events in my life. When I was getting married, and the ceremony was at my mother's house, and Mother Khadijah and Mother Evelyn was there, and Sister Colliday at 7 years old was present, and Brother Abner, her brother, was present. And Brother Abner gave me an envelope, and I opened it up. It had $100 in it. And I went to Mother Khadijah. I said, look, Abner gave me $100. And Mother Khadijah said, you know Abner ain't gave you no $100. I was that happy and naive. And then at our father's funeral, Colliday and her son Rapanui was there. One day we was at the farm where Minister Farrakhan, his garden of Gethsemane, I guess you call it. And my mother was there. And then I didn't see my mother no more. And then later on, in inquiring about my mother, I found out that Colliday, Sister Colliday, came out there and got my mother and took her in the house to have dinner with Minister Farrakhan and Mother Khadijah. Now I'm being honored, and here's Sister Colliday and her son Rapanui again. So she seems to be present whenever something special is happening in my life.
Mm.
So you brought that up in my mind when you asked me.
Yes, sir.
But to know that the idea and the suggestion to honor me came from a sister, my brother's wife, whose name is similar to my wife's. Her name is Sister Cole Retta. My wife's name is Sister Cole Zeta. And that's outside of the minister. That was special to me. And I'll say that brother that did the singing, he did pretty good to me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. He, you know, cause like Donnie Hathaway,
Yes.
from what we was told, he committed suicide. But the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us, especially those of us that's incarcerated, that no Muslim ever thinks hopelessness, never thinks hopelessly, because we know that we have to face difficulty. And in the scripture that foretold about Elijah Muhammad under the name Jesus, he said, it's expedient for you that I go away, but I will send you another comforter in my name, and he will guide you into all truth. But at the end of that particular scripture, he says, because I have overcome the world. So Elijah Muhammad has overcome the world. And when he tells his comforter, don't marvel at what I do, because greater things shall you do, he knows that his comforter and spirit of truth is going to do greater things than he did when he was present among us, because he's exalted and all God's power is in his hand, and he's going to be the guide of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Go ahead. Teach.
Final call.
Go ahead.
The fifth Jesus. He taught us of four Jesus. He taught us of four Jesus. He taught us of the historical Jesus. He taught us of Master Fard Muhammad under the name Jesus. He taught us of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the name Jesus. And when I was riding from Parchman Penitentiary in the back seat, and Minister Farrakhan was sitting in the passenger seat right in front of me, all you can see is farmland, and it looked like the farmland went far as you can see. And all of a sudden, I seen a transparent cross that went from the earth of Mississippi all the way to the sky with the part where his hands, as they say, was nailed. And it came up in my mind, the whole black nation is Jesus. So he said the fourth Jesus is the people. Now, what I'm telling you is what I think, not that I talked to the minister and asked him, could I say what I'm saying? So I want to get that straight.
Yes, sir.
But the fourth Jesus is the people who Elijah Muhammad raised up, and the unregistered Muslims that bear witness to the good works that Elijah and the FOI and the MGT did while Elijah Muhammad was present. But when he was said to be dead, the whole nation fell. The nation died. The nation went back to sleep. And all of those dead people had no power that they could look to, no examples that they would want to be like. They went back to using drugs and went back to being prostitutes. But what the enemy didn't know is that Elijah Muhammad had preserved Minister Farrakhan to rise as the fifth Jesus, the Jesus of the resurrection of the eternal kingdom, never to fall again.
Go ahead. Teach it.
So Allahu Akbar. I'm in this with my whole life, prayer, sacrifice, and death. But I hope to do some of the killing. I'm tired of the enemies knocking us off. No, I want to sit in my rocking chair and tell my grandchildren about what we did in slaying iron.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know how to follow that up, bro. I'm not gonna.
What you gonna say behind that, brother Kwawi? What you gonna say?
I'm giving it to brother Shaquille on that. Go ahead, brother.
I'm on second that emotion. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. Now, I just thought of another highlight, brother. While brother Shaquille was doing his 27 years, I actually was blessed to have dinner with his mother. But brother, I can't remember what state I was in. Was I in Alabama? Alabama. So I was in Alabama, and I was blessed to have dinner with his mother. And so when I arrived at the event, Brother Shakir wanted me to come speak to his mother. And she asked me, I forget everything she asked me, but I know I said to her, no, I remember you. And I said, did you say I told you he was going to remember you or something? That's what you said?
Yes, sir.
And I said, yeah, I don't know how it went, but I know I mentioned how much time you did. Then she hit me with a blow only a mother could hit you with. She said, yeah, I did that 27 years with him. Right along with him. I couldn't say nothing, man. It hit me right in the chest, and I'm talking about, I felt that like a sledgehammer in my chest. Because a lot of times, we don't think about the effect of our incarceration on our parents. But she made me to definitely never forget that type of effect on family.
That's right. All praise is due to Allah.
Brother Shakir, I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick commercial. And then when I come out,
doubt you got to drop one after that.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna come right back to you.
That's a mic drop. That's a mic drop.
Once again, family, thank y'all for tuning in to the Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. I thank you for those that are present. We got like a decent number tonight. I thank you for tuning in. Please, again, share the show. For those of you that's here, you hearing the same thing I'm hearing. He ain't doing nothing but dropping bombs. So if you think this is something that your family, your friends should want to hear, please share the show. And of course, go to YouTube, go to Jock Bros or Jock Brothers on YouTube and subscribe and hit the bell. I appreciate that. Still, we got a prison initiative. please donate to the Cash App that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, $ Jock Bros. And if you are enjoying this platform, please, whatever you give at the bottom of your heart is much appreciated. Again, the Cash App information is at the bottom of the screen. Again, $ Jock Bros, JAKQBROS. As you know, Jock Brothers, we're business owners. I want to first get into, I don't think it's popping up. I don't know how Ahmed normally do it, but Ahmed is a publisher. He's an author right now. And the brother has books that he got coming up, but his first book was about bullying. I can't seem to get it to come up. And I really would like for you to, well, I can't even sing you to it. It's let me just read it. www.beyahpublishing.com. Let me spell it. www.beyahpublishing.com. You can get this book there. Support our brothers. We need more Black authors addressing the content for the youth that they can understand. We always talk when we teach that a 6-year-old can understand. He's doing just that with his children's books. Like, this is not Dr. Seuss. We ain't talking about no green eggs and pork. I mean, green eggs and ham. We talking about brother that's dealing with issues that mean something to us. We want to put this information in our children at a young age. Of course, we have our brother Jackie Muhammad. He has business. He has a dump truck business. I'm looking for it now. He has a Supreme Waste Removal. If you move in, whatever you need, he has dump trucks that you can get at a reasonable rate. Supreme Waste Removal. If you need to reach our brother, his number is 404-957-7639. He got all sizes. He got the 20 orders, 30 orders, 40 orders, 50 orders. And he got them at a very, very competitive, I'm gonna say a good price. Maybe this Jock brother love. I don't know. But I say you should call our brother anyway, because you got a Black man that's doing something positive for himself, working for himself, just like the teachers. So support our brother Jackie Muhammad and his endeavor, Supreme Waste Removal. And of course, I'm your local realtor. Hey, I got that land for you. I got 23 acres. I got 22 acres. I got good prices. Man, we were told to get land. We told the next millionaires would be landowners. You call me for that. You call for me if you want to build subdivisions, trailer homes. I have land for that. And if you just into commercial, if you're into residential, whether you want to sell it or buy it, I'm your guy. I try to make this experience real easy for you, real easy, and have fun with it at the same time. And you can reach your brother Kawi at 404-671-5681. Support your brother, support your brothers before you support others. Give us an opportunity to show you love from somebody that look like you, that love you, that want to serve you. All right, that's what I got for the commercial. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's get back to the program. Brother Shakir, I'm sorry. Run it.
Yes, sir. Again, I want to thank Student Minister Abdullah Muhammad for taking time out of his busy schedule to impart what Allah has blessed him to go through and learn in his tenure in the Nation of Islam. I want to thank also our brother Kenneth Muhammad. And this question is for you, Brother Kenneth. In light of Allah blessing you and your wife and the believers to put on such a extraordinary and momentous occasion for Student Minister Abdullah Muhammad, why do you think it was important to highlight the work and the sacrifice in the long year of service in the prison reform ministry? Why do you think it was necessary to highlight that of such great man?
Well, Brother Shakir, I want to thank you for that question. We believed it was important because prison reform ministry, there's no cameras. You don't see photographers in there. So the work is a work of pure love, commitment, dedication, but it's not readily seen. Brother Abdullah, when you listen to his story, he's been there from the beginning of the second rise of the Nation of Islam. But how many people really know that? There was a glimpse on NFA Studios doing a documentary of 40 Miles High when he was talking about some of his history. And I didn't even know it. I was like, wow. And so we in the prison reform ministry, and those of us who have benefited from that work, we know the importance. We know that Brother Abdullah is a very humble man. We know that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan chose him for this, but how many other people know it? In fact, how many other people that get the final call, there's the picture of the messenger every week, there's a picture of the minister every week, but there's another brother that's in there every week. And that brother is student minister Abdullah Muhammad.
That's right.
So that shows you his importance. But sometimes with us, if we don't see the glitz, we don't see the glamour, or we don't see him on the DVDs or whatnot, well, he must not be that important. But that's where you're wrong. The only difference from Minister Abdullah and any other ministers that you may be fond of is his exposure to the people. I ask you, you don't have to answer this, but you got a glimpse of Brother Abdullah. You be getting a glimpse of him, and I bet you your question board, your computer is off the charts. Because when you see this man and hear this man and hear the word penetrating, it isn't a flowery word, it's a word to penetrate the heart of the person that's trying to be penetrated. And those are the ones in the bottomless pits in the prison houses of America. So we said we got to get off the back and come out front. We have to stop being on the margins and let the people see us in our light. And I want to add this. When you asked about important moments, of course, the minister was the climax, but there was another moment, two moments for me. One was at the end of the gala, all of those who were formerly incarcerated got out of their seats and came up where Brother Minister Abdullah was. And then we went to the side and we took a picture, and you saw all of those men, some 10, 20, 27, 28, 35 years, standing up there with the student national prison reform minister. But I think the moment that stood out for me, and Allah is the God, brother. They were introducing, Brother Shakur, you was there, you remember this. Brother Abdullah kind of laying some track, and he was getting ready to come up. And I was standing off to the side, and his wife, so I came in, I said, yes, ma'am. She said, before he comes up, I want to say a word. I'm like, certainly. And then she was like, well, no. I said, Allah put it on your mind and heart. You got to carry it out. And so Brother Abdullah's sister escorted Sister Cosetta up. And when she stood and said what she said, brother, it was touching. And the words, for those who weren't there, she said, being there, and she wanted us to know that her husband has been on his post every day. She said her husband has sacrificed his entire life for you all. And I want you to know, I'm paraphrasing now, but we'll go check the tape, that in this brother here, you have a man that loves you. That was a powerful testimony. All praise due to Allah.
And Brother Q, she said, she told y'all that you all are my second family.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. That was a
we all you talk about.
That's it. That was a powerful moment, brother. Powerful moment. Let me say this, brother Kwawe, then I'll give it back to you and brother Shakir. You can go and watch this on NOI Holly Springs. I think it's our Facebook page. And see the entire, it's NOI Holly Springs. And if I'm not 100% correct, those who are listening, make sure you send it in so you can watch that entire event and you can hear the words for yourself. But it was a powerful, powerful testament from a man's wife who watches him day in and day out, come in, who knows, what kind of feelings he has. I don't know, brother. That just, every time I think about it, I get goosebumps because that said a lot. That said a lot.
Hey, brother minister, student minister Abdullah, a brother, I think I forgot who sent the picture. It was a picture though, at the end where it was you and all the brothers that was there that I guess had been incarcerated, along with student minister Ishmael.
Yeah, that was brother Shakir in the lavender suit.
Yes, sir. Oh, in the lavender.
No, lavender.
Don't say that. Don't say that on live TV, brother. You didn't see Purple Rain, did you, brother? I'm just messing with you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's okay. We'll go with it.
What did that mean to you? What did that mean to you, brother? After that, all the brothers that was there.
Well, the only thing that I wish I had to remember to do was record how much time every brother in the photo did to add up how much of our life we gave or was unfortunate enough to be in the hands of this beast. But brother Kenneth could help me on this one. It was one brother, he almost tall as me, but he top heavy. And I think he had just got out, maybe did 15 years or more. And he got all excited. Man, I finally seen you in the flesh, man. Man, I finally seen you. He was like fired up. And he was so fired up. After seeing me, he said all he seen was there go brother Ahmed. And all he saw was me in the paper, and I finally see you in the flesh. And he was like excited. So I told him, I said, man, I normally charge $5 for autographs. and then my wife, she said, no, charge him 10.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so that was interesting, man. And to feel the spirit, and after all the time we didn't dig in the hands of the beast, we all was smiling and enjoying one another's company, and the spirit was happy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right.
Any opening words, brother Ahmed? I know your tartar slip is on the way.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for holding it down. Man, we might have to,
sir.
We might have to get you in trouble, brother Abdul. We might have to go another hour, bro. I got so many questions here.
We ain't doing that after he got on me today. No, sir.
Don't put him in the cold.
But let me jump right in. Let me jump right in, brother Abdul, because there's two things that I was dealing with this week. One of my old friends in my own neighborhood put up a mirage of pictures of some of the guys that we grew up with and hung out with. And a lot of them were good guys. But some of them made bad choices and bad decisions and found themselves in prison, incarcerated. And we are, myself, Brother Jackie, and Brother Carl, are we're youth mentors. We work with Junior FOI and different youth that they bring to the mosque or bring to us. What do you say to a young man who just seems to keep making poor decisions, just doesn't have someone to talk to, and just keep seeming to make bad decisions. And everybody's looking at him to say, we already know where he's going.
Well, you treat him the way you would treat your own children. You keep giving them the right directions and the proper knowledge, no matter what they continue to do. Because if they live long enough, they will change, and then they will love you because you always told them the truth. I heard a story about a young man who bit his mother's some part of her face, nose or lip off when she came to see him because she never corrected him. She always excused him and defended him for all of the wrong that he was doing. So the bottom line, he hated her for allowing him to get away with what he did, and he took it out on her. So I'm reminded of a scripture in the Bible where one of the prophet's sons was very sick, and he knelt by his bed and he prayed day and night without stopping. Then his son died, and he rose up from prayer, and the people wanted to know, why did you stop praying? And his response was, where there's life, there is hope. So you continue to feed your children what's right and learn not to be combative and hard with it. We have to learn how to exhibit mercy and patience.
Yes, sir.
And pray that Allah bring about the change.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, this second one is a two-part, but it's a one question. Now, a lot of the naysayers like to say the Nation of Islam is just a bunch of brothers and sisters who are ex-drug addicts and
I'm one.
ex-inmates. But my question is prison just bars and bricks? Is prison just bars and bricks? Can you be a prisoner? Excuse me?
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can you be a prisoner and not actually have been in a cell or a penitentiary?
Absolutely. America is a prison. You see how wicked they are. During the time of Reagan, they threatened anybody going to Libya with 10 years and I think it was $50,000 fine. And Minister Farrakhan said that he's going to Libya to show us what a free man looked like, and he went. And when he came back, they had a kangaroo court down in Washington, D.C., and I went there to hear what they were saying and planning to do to the minister. And they was talking about, man, I forgot the name of it. It's some kind of agent that they were accusing him of being. So at that time, around 65 years old, the minister was lifting weights, running, and staying in shape. And when he returned from Libya, he was downtown preaching power at last forever. was the name of the subject. And they had produced the power products and had them sitting on the rostrum where the minister started preaching the subject. But what I'm trying to say is Allah blinded them while they were standing there waiting to arrest him, and they didn't even see him. He walked right past them, went straight to the hotel and started preaching the Savior's Day message. So we got to have unshakable faith in our God. So I said that to you because that bears witness that America is a prison. We locked in. And they don't want no light of knowledge coming in among us. And that's why the mindset and the fear of Pharaoh or whatever you want to call their leaders said, let us deal wisely with them and get them out the land, lest they join on to an enemy of ours and come against us. Not join on to their enemy, but they may join on to our enemy and come against us because they are more and mightier than us. The white man is at the zero growth population rate.
Right.
So every time one of them is born, one of them dies. And I think now it's dropped below one dying. It may be more than one dying now. But we steady multiplying.
Yes, sir.
So the America is the prison, and that's why in Isaiah 42, he said, behold my servant, mine elect, in whom my soul does delight. He will open blinded eyes, bring the prisoner out of the prison, America, and bring those that sit in darkness out of the prison houses, the actual walls of incarceration.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we read at the tail end of the show, fellas. This is the part. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, Minister Abdullah. We still got issues coming in,
brother. Carly, I just wanted Brother Kenneth to touch that real quick before we close.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Do your thing.
You want me to touch
on the subject of being a prisoner and not actually being in prison?
Yes, sir. Honestly, Brother Ahmed, student minister Abdullah, covered that eloquently, and I don't come behind the minister and add anything to it. So I say Allahu Akbar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Now
right.
Take that gut shot, Brother Ahmed.
You know, he got a sense of humor now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Boy, look, he cutting up tonight, boy. That's all right. I'll see you in February, inshallah.
Yeah.
All praise is due to Allah. Oh yeah. Let me say this. I forgot to say, Brother Ahmed. The minister, he said, he asked me, he said, don't you have a son in prison? I said, well, that was a couple of years ago, Brother Farrakhan. He's at home now. He said, well, tell him I want to talk to him. Make sure he's at Savior's Day, because I got a message for all of these young men or these youth. So I'm telling y'all,
yes, sir.
He got something he want the youth and those that's in that age category to deliver to them.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Young brothers like Shakir.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, because we sure gonna be there.
Yes, sir.
Don't
Yes,
be
sir.
that.
All right, bro. Carl, go ahead, bro.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Can
Go
I-
ahead,
Can I
bro.
ask one question before we leave?
Yes, sir.
This to you, Brother Kenneth.
Yes, sir.
What is from your estimation, from being on the outside, inside to now outside, in your estimation, what do you think the brothers and sisters or the believers, when a brother or sister comes home from incarceration, what should be the response of those who receive that brother or sister coming home?
Well, brother, I would like to say they need to be standing outside the mosque door screaming Allahu Akbar, just like it was when we graduated, walking in that arena after on that Saturday after the leader speaks. But Muhammad's Mosque number 60 was the mosque that came into the prisons and was our official volunteers. They served us. And the ministry was an integral part of what they did. So once I came out, from the time I walked outside of the gate, I was received by the student captain. They made sure I was safely and secured going to my home. I didn't really have a lot of needs. My family gave me immense support, but there have been brothers who have come to that mosque that they took care of their food, clothing, shelter, gave them employment. I mean, they really wrapped their arms around them and nurtured them until they could get on firm footing. So when a brother comes out and he reports under the leadership of student minister Abdullah, then that mosque shouldn't be pushing him to the side or trying to find some post down the street or in the back door. They should be embracing him and finding out what was he able to do and accomplish in that adverse environment. Some brothers come out with great organizational skills. Most are very well studied. They have skills that they can add to the mosque. So they should be grabbing hold to any brother or sister that come out of an environment and really make them feel welcome and a part of the structure of the mosque. And the more we do that, then we'll find those coming out staying to help out in the mission.
Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah.
Minister Abdullah,
Yes, sir.
because I think we said we're finna close it out pretty soon. I got a question. Now,
Okay.
we need money. So I want to ask you, what is the link that all of those who have participated listen to? What link could they use to support the prison reform ministry?
They could go to the Nations Program, and when I Google it, sometime they use letters. It says TNP, representing the Nations Program. So if you Google the Nations Program and you click the link, at the bottom left-hand corner, you will see a link to click as a guest. Then you click that link and follow the instructions. Then you can go make a donation. And the National Prison Reform Ministry is on the Nations Program, and that's how you can make a donation. The
Yes,
Nations Program.
Man, we should have had somebody to put that up on the screen and just went through it with him as he explained it.
Well, you can always do it next week.
Yeah, we can. You're right.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
I heard you.
I was just playing.
No, I don't play like that.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay, I
boy, you
forgot
putting
you-
down hard today, boy. It must be, it's a windy sit up in Chicago today,
Right,
right? You blowing that windy wind, man.
right.
Blowing that wind today, dog.
But I'm gonna say, if you would let me, I'll say one last thing.
Yes, sir.
Minister Farrakhan wanted me to plant some garlic and onions back in September and said to harvest it in June. He said, it's good to watch life grow up out of the earth the same as we did. And he said, it's good for these brothers coming home from prison to watch life grow up out of the earth. But before that, the part I was really trying to tell you is, he said, coming home from prison is a trial. So the brother that's got more energy and more aggressive than the believers that's been outside of prison and in the mosque, and their energy may have dissipated. And the brothers come home, they're aggressive, and we looking like we weak. What Brother Shakir or Brother Kenneth mentioned it, these brothers can probably recite the whole supreme wisdom. And those of us that's in the mosque been free all of this time and haven't committed none of it to memory. So when these brothers come home, those of us who haven't been really on our job, really studying, really committing to memory, feel threatened by their aggression. And like Brother Kenneth said, we not under lights, action, camera in this work. I do time right along with them for whatever time I'm in the prison, serving them. So it ain't no lights, action, camera. But that's what the minister told me, that coming home from prison is a trial. And he said, you said the brothers did 20. I said, they did 28 years and 3 months, brother minister. He said, 28 years and 3 months. He said, the people ain't the same. The sky ain't the same. The trees ain't the same. And the insects ain't the same. They have all become soldiers in the army of God to bring about the chastisement.
Wow. Wow. That's quite a way to leave a wow.
Drop the mic.
Hey, so before we get the final word, I want to just give a couple of shout outs. People that supported. We got DA, we got our sister Jada X. Anybody know Sister Jada? I think she out of Memphis. Any Wright, Broderick, Cedric X, Mississippi on the Move. Anybody know that? The Nada X. Man, we just like to thank y'all for tuning in and giving us the support that y'all gave. Sonia Muhammad. So you got a lot of questions that we didn't get a chance to get to, Brother Avila. I'm gonna try to get these questions to you, and I know that Brother Shakir has some questions, some more questions from the brothers that's incarcerated that's viewing the show as well.
I forgot something, if you don't mind.
Say again.
I forgot something. There was a highlight, and that was Sister Amila and Sister Kamar from Mos Mariam, who traveled all the way down to Holly Springs, Mississippi, to participate in honoring me. I want to just express my love, and I'm honored that some sisters would actually travel like that to participate in me being honored, and I wanted to call their name.
Yes, sir. Brother Kenneth, final words.
support the Nation of Islam's prison reform ministry. Go on that link that Brother Ahmed put up, NOI.org, TNP, that's the nation's program, and support true prison reform.
Praise be to Allah. Brother Ahmed, final words. You on mute.
I hear you, Brother Ahmed.
Yes, sir. I thank you all for joining on, taking time out of your schedules to come on and deal with such a weighty topic. Brother Abdullah, definitely giving you flowers while you live and honors for all your great work and the great work that you still have to do.
Yes.
There's no period, the minister said, till we sleeping with the fishes.
Oh man, that's the Godfather movie. Man.
So we are.
Don't be putting me in the category of Luca Brasi.
I didn't put him up to that, brother.
Okay. You see how quick your brother turned state evidence on you? Woo!
Go, sir. Go, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, I'm through, man. I'm through. Go ahead,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I thank all you brothers. We, inshallah, we'll see each other in February, and I bless you all in your endeavors and everything that you're doing, your families, and you know wherever we need, wherever you need us. I pray that we can be there for you and for us as well. Thank you all for coming on.
Man,
Thank you, sir.
for inviting me.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Brother.
Assalamu
Couple of more people I want to give a shout out to. Lionel Muhammad, Gregory Muhammad. They've been watching the whole show. Just in case you know those. But Gregory Muhammad, he's the
Delaware Valley Regional Prison Reform Coordinator.
Yes, he been supporting you this whole show. So just wanted to give that shout out to him. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Brother Shakir, final remarks.
Yes, sir. First of all, I want to thank this great platform for the opportunity, and Minister Abdullah for taking time out of his schedule, Brother Kenneth as well. This is an awesome thing that you all are doing. I want to give as well as everybody else, show our love and support for our brother who's not able to be on with his family. Brother Jackie, we pray that everything works well for his situation. And we want to ask Minister Abdullah, please extend the greetings to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Brother Abdullah. You were able to stay in the house tonight. You did a wonderful job.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Praise.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Brother Abdullah, final words.
There would be no me getting honored for 32 years of work without Minister Farrakhan commissioning me.
Right. Hey, short and sweet. Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My final words, I really enjoyed the night, man. Y'all brothers is great. Y'all experiences, man. I can't fathom. I can't even attempt to imagine what y'all went through or what that's like to be incarcerated that long. And it had to be so many days, man, where y'all just was like, man, you know, I never get a chance to have a family, to be able to, you know, to do the things normal people do. But your faith kept you strong. You know, your belief in the law, it was strengthened the day you got released. And now look at you brothers. Brothers got families. You brothers over your situation in the city that you're in, whether it's the mosque or whether it's some type of initiative that you over. I mean, you can really see that Allah has took you in his hands and he's moving you the way he wants you to be moved. When I look at you, Brother Kenneth, Brother Shakir, I see big time. I mean, it's a lot of inspiration in you, brothers, because so many brothers have never been incarcerated. That y'all are doing much better than it just because of the belief you have in the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And Brother Avila, you know, this is a big work that you over. And I really, even though you've been over this work for so many years, I really don't think you understand how big a job this is. You may understand it, but the way you conduct yourself and carry yourself, you do it with such ease. You do it with almost no effort. It's almost like, do he understand how big of a post that you on, and you do it with such ease? So I salute you. I salute you, brother, for you being the man that you are. I really and truly pray and hope that those brothers that was incarcerated that's listening do the work that it take to get you to their prison. This prison ministry, it has to grow. It has to go to new heights. And whatever role I can assist you in or help you in and to get into the heights that I need to go to, I'm all yours.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir. So look, it's a great show. We got another great one next week. We got How to Eat to Live. We finished. I know everybody about to get their gym memberships up. I know everybody got their New Year's resolutions, want to lose weight. No better way to do that than how to start the year off with a show entitled How to Eat to Live. It's more than just getting yourself in shape. It's about living a longer, healthier, happy life. So tune in next week for the Jock Brothers. This is Brother Jackie show. So as he would always like to say when he end a good show, another one.